150 million full vaccinations given out in the U.S., and I'm one of them. Why'd I do it? Pretty simple. Deadly pandemic. I ain't trying to die. Vaccine, 94% effective after the second shot. Sign me up. After hearing from virologists and ICU physicians, most of whom look like me, my mind was made up. You don't remember Tuskegee, my boy? Yeah, I do, and I also remember in that same instance, black men were refused treatment. Matter of fact, we're routinely excluded or hindered from getting life-saving vaccinations. But look how fast they made it. They didn't test it. That's cap. First off, they started phase 1 of human trials for Moderna back in mid-March 2020. Plus, 3 things contribute to vaccine development usually taking so long. Funding, manpower, when the starting point is. Medical research costs money. Most of the time, one of the biggest challenges is getting grants. But that wasn't the case this time around. With the exception of the state of Georgia, the whole world closed down and researchers had access to all the money in it, which leads into the next advantage they had. Incredible manpower. Usually these research groups are pretty small with a handful of folks. But COVID-19 taking top priority in the world, the entire global medical community researched it together at the same time and shared notes. That with 100,000 people pretty much immediately volunteering for trials, they had more manpower than the comment section of a Kevin Samuels video.
You seen the show Mythbusters before? Who knew that we had our own hood version on the internet operating, man, getting you the facts, man? Drew Comments has been making the rounds, and he's going viral all across social media for his videos, man. And, he's definitely hitting you with the facts. What up, Drew?
What's pop? Appreciate you having me. What's going on?
Hey, Drew, your video's been viewed millions of times, and you actually are starting to convince people out there who may have been a little bit on the fence about the vaccination to potentially get it. Let's talk a little bit about where you got your research from and just what made you create this video in general.
For me, it started just, looking for, credible sources of information. And for me, it started with the doctors, particularly black doctors. So, you can highlight people like Dr. Ebony Jade Hilton, who you see, she's actually from the University of Virginia. Dr. Joffrey Varner, who's a brother, is a A5A, is also a graduate of Hampton University, so that's the HBCU connection there. Dr. Cindy Duke, so many others that I could name as well. But, just being able to ask them questions directly, and even if I didn't have the questions to ask, hearing other people ask their questions, whether it was based on maybe some science or whether it was based in conspiracy or whatnot, and just having these doctors who know what they're talking about, who are on the front lines, who've been studying this for years, be able to really go ahead and just shed some light on what this virus is doing and how these vaccines work. And the reason I was doing it was a couple of reasons. Number one, I just got tired of hearing the cap, bro. It's just so much cap in this world these days, you know what I'm saying? So, even though I don't have a background in medicine, you know what I'm saying? When people start saying things that just aren't based in reality. Stuff just sound ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I need to get some actual facts. That on top of the fact that, I have 2 parents that are my mother and father, both in their mid-60s, both with underlying conditions. I got a younger brother who has underlying conditions and such. You know what I'm saying? I have, grew up with asthma or whatnot. So I really want to know what the steps I could do to protect myself, but also to get the information. So if I can have those conversations with friends, former teammates, and so on, or just perfect strangers on the internet who just be looking for ways to shift through the cap, maneuver through all the cap that's out there, because we're in the misinformation for real.
What is your thoughts about them saying that people that had COVID before may not be able to catch it again when it comes to the vaccine? Should they still get it, in your opinion?
Oh, but first off, if somebody tell you that just because you had COVID before you can't catch it again, that's cap right there.
Well, it says it on the CDC website that, that there's no proof that you can get it again.
Nah, so the thing about it is this, and that's one of the things that, I'm so glad for the doctors and stuff, is you may not be able to get that particular strain again, but there are so many different variants of this thing now. There's so many different strains of COVID-19. When it originally came out, we talked about maybe over 500 strains of COVID-19 that were out. You may not be able to get that particular strain or similar strains, but there are a bunch of other variants out there that you definitely can get. I know multiple people, including doctors and physicians, who have caught COVID multiple times. You know what I'm saying? And especially with this Delta variant running out there, and don't sleep on Lambda variant either. It's like the COVID-19 probate out here, but all these Greek letters. So, you know what I'm saying? So, no, definitely, you can definitely catch it again. The antibodies that your body builds up from the actual infection, yeah, that's good for that particular strain. But, the best choice right now is to get vaccinated, for real.
Now, for those who just joined us, we're talking to Drew Comments. Sometimes it is all about the messenger. So let's just say, if you do get tapped by the CDC to go out there and, deliver the same rhetoric, are you showing up with the purple bandana in full Drew Comments mode, just to connect to the hood on that level? Because sometimes people just need to see people that look like them.
Hey, that's fake. The whole purple bandana, I mean, it's possible, you know what I'm saying? Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like Memphis Bleak said back in the day, I keep my hat tilted and my do-rag too. But nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's possible. And that bandana is actually a Kamala Harris bandana. So, you know what I'm saying? I shouted her out. Just, it's kind of an homage to her or whatever, and just, you know, what she's doing in terms of the viral, the fight against the virus and whatnot, just her job, you know, as VP now going forward. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, overall, though, you know what I'm saying, that do-rag and bandana, that was me saying, if I'm doing this video, I'm doing this, like, you're going to get the real me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm talking to folk, you're going to see the culture I grew up in. Like, I'm a Jersey boy. I grew up right outside of Philly. So, you know what I'm saying, like, that's part of my culture and upbringing. Went to college, North Carolina A&T. Like, I went to class looking like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think you should wear it as your mask.
The only thing about it is this. It's not that effective as a mask, those particular bandanas. You want to get something a little bit, you know what I'm saying, closely woven together. But it look cool, though. You know
You're
what I'm saying?
vaccinated. You should be fine.
Hey, Drew, before we let you go, man, can I ask you about, like, just with all the positive comments I also saw a lot of people pushing back on your facts. What would you say to that? Because I think a lot of people have their own information or they have their own ideals on it as well. What would you say to that? And what do you want the community overall to know coming from you, a young black man?
I want you to know that everything you hear from me can be fact-checked. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not out here making nothing up. I mean, I may emphasize some stuff for a joke, like the actual punchlines, but the actual facts that I'm giving you, all of that is backed by, you know, the actual science community. You look at the people who are backing me right now. These are accredited doctors, PhDs, MDs, like folk who have studied this for years. Who are like, yo, he on point. And the reason I'm on point is I did my research and study. This ain't no internet conspiracy theories and how I feel. And I heard from Uncle Larry and them. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about like folk. We talking about folk who are in the field, front lines, who study this thing and know for real. They the ones who are beefing me up and saying, yo, this man's spitting right here.
That's what's up. Well, yo, you know, don't be first, be factual. All right? The man name is Drew Comments. Man, the people want to follow you. Where do they go, bro?
So if you want to follow me anywhere on social media, just type in Drew Comments. That's going to be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Clubhouse. It's DrewComments. Drew Comments.
We are the Morning Hustle.